I won't claim to know who or what is driving this so-called gender war, but I will say this. If I wanted to disconnect men and women, destroy trust between them, and dismantle family values, I'd do exactly what's being done. Saturate the culture with fear and contempt, pit the sexes against each other, push divisive ideologies into classrooms and headlines, demonize men and masculinity, sexualize women and glorify over-sexualized singledom over mature monogamous partnership. These narratives shape how boys see themselves, how girls grow up expecting to relate to men, and how couples regard each other behind closed doors. Instead of turning to each other for guidance, they turn to screens and to the state. Whether you share my suspicion or not, surely we can agree this division is a tragedy, and that it must be countered with love, compassion, and unity.
I feel like the story that's going around with this girl that's a DoorDash driver on here proves exactly why I believe all women should have never been a thing. For those of you who are not aware of what I'm talking about, there's a girl on this app who decided to share her testimony talking about how she was sexually assaulted while working as a DoorDash driver, and once she shared her story, DoorDash decided that they were going to punish her and remove her as a driver. Now, obviously, this sounds absolutely horrible, right? You would be up in arms, you would be outraged, you'd be calling for a boycott, and you'd be wrong, because as more details came out about the story, the more it seemed like she was actually the red flag. For starters, what she described wasn't even sexual assault. She had said that she went up to the door and saw a man who was undressed asleep on the couch, which, for starters, even if he had done that, yes, obviously wrong, obviously creepy, but at best you could claim that this was sexual harassment, not assault. There is a huge difference. And then you hear more and more of her story, and then you learn that she was actually supposed to leave the food at the front door. She was never supposed to be inside of his house. She was the one who took it upon herself in order to bring herself into his house, right? She pushed the door open because it was a crack open, and that is when she saw him laying inappropriately. Had she done what the directions actually told her to do, then she would have never been in that situation to begin with. She entered his home against his wishes and then took it upon herself to take out her phone and film this man half naked without his consent and try to post it all over the internet. She is the one who is the criminal in this case. This man is absolutely the victim. But you would have never known that had you taken her original claims at face value. If you just saw a girl get up on here and say, oh, I was sexually assaulted, which many did. Her video in which she shares this testimony got over 1 million likes, so many reposts, so many people saying that they would never shop with DoorDash again, and it was absolute nonsense. Now, statistically, it is true that women are not that likely to lie of these things happening, but it does still happen, and we still have to operate off of the assumption of innocence until proven guilty. That doesn't mean that you go around telling anybody who shares their story without evidence that you think that they're a liar, but you cannot try to go after somebody without knowing all the facts. That is not done with any other crime, and why we think that it's okay to do with this one, especially when it's ruined so many lives, I just don't know.
The fact the woman claimed it was sexual assault is ridiculous. Don't modern women understand what sexual assault means? She wasn't even assaulted. How can she be assaulted by a man who is asleep? She is the one who posted him on the internet without his consent, and she should be charged with invasion of privacy and revenge porn. If a man did what she did to a woman, he would get locked up immediately, and they would throw away the key. The double standards never cease to amaze me in the world, and how much women get away with. Yet they always play the victim card and claim to want equality. It's
bullshit.
Love, compassion, and unity is something that has been lost for a very long time now. Currently, the media pushes out division between political affiliations, religion, race, and gender. Long gone are the times when we all work together as human beings to create a more unified world. That has been replaced with anger, victimhood, and revenge. The only positive thing we can do is focus on ourselves and try to build a healthy circle of friends and family we can rely on. Because let's face it, participating in the cesspool of society brings nothing but trouble.
That is unfortunate.
Real men of genius.